G'day everyone, today I'm going trout fishing and I've got myself a brand new fishing rod that I'm hoping to christen on some small stream trout.
Hey you!
I've got a new fishing rod. There's the new rod, but what is it? I'll tell you in a moment. First I'll give you a bit of a backstory. Last week it was my beautiful niece's 18th birthday and she lives in Ballarat. So on Friday I took both of my daughters and the three of us went to Ballarat and we went to my niece's birthday party. And while there I decided to duck in and check out a tackle shop. I'm going to pronounce this wrong. I think it's Rayfish or Ryfish. R-E-H fish I think it's pronounced. I think it's their name. Anyway, I'm just going to call it Rayfish. I've spoken to a few people and everyone seems to have a different name for this shop. But check it out, R-E-H Fish & Co. in Ballarat. And I went in there and I had a bit of a browse. I had no intentions at all on buying a fishing rod until I spotted one that I just fell in love with. I thought, this looks great. So I bought it and I had to find a reel for it and I bought that too. Now, the rod and reel are the same brand, but I guarantee this is not a sponsored video in any way, shape or form. Not that that matters, to be quite honest, because it's either going to work or it's not going to work. Let's have a look. Ta-da! It's an Okuma LRF, long reinforced fibre. LRF 502, 5 foot, 150 centimetres, 2 to 8 kilograms. So it's an Okuma, and to put it into perspective, it's that tall. That's probably up to about my beard. It's only a really short little rod. And I've got an Okuma reel on it. What's this one called? SEMA HD 1000. I don't know. That's an Okuma rod, but the thing I liked about it, the fact that it's a slow taper, which means it doesn't start fat and get real skinny. It's just a nice consistent sort of diameter, and that's very light. But up the end, it's graphite all the way to this runner, and then it's fiberglass. So it's got a fiberglass tip, which means that if I high stick a fish, I'm less likely to break this rod. Graphite rods, they're great for casting. That's why they're a lot more expensive, because they are absolutely brilliant. They're light and they cast well, but they break a lot easier than the old fiberglass rods. Fiberglass rods are cheaper and a lot more flimsy, but they're much harder to cast accurately. So this is it's graphite most of the way up with a fiberglass tip. It's an Okuma LRF with an Okuma SEMA reel. I've got 4 pound Maxima Ultra Green line. That's the stuff that I always use. It's my favourite trout line. And I've got a little Strike Tiger Micro Minnow in black caviar colour, because it's been working well for me on the trout lately. Let's go and christen this new little whippy, this new little short rod. Well, the creek looks really good. This is the creek that I have aptly nicknamed the Creek from Hell, because it's a small, windy little creek that is just covered with blackberries and overgrown vegetation. It's hard to fish. The perfect creek for a short rod like this. But one of the downsides to this is that I don't get in here and walk up. I've got to walk way down there, then fish my way back up. If I get all the way down there, then find that someone else has fished it and I'm in second-hand water, well, I've still got to fish it anyway. Anyway, one thing I do like to do to try and overcome that is to just throw a line in here. If I see fish swim, oh yep, one come out after it, there it is. That's had quite a large trout. I don't know whether you can see him or not. I can see him in the middle there. I'm not sure whether the camera's picking it up. That's all I need to know. That's all I need to know. That tells me that it hasn't been fished. If it has, well, it wasn't just too recently. So I reckon I'm good to go downstream and make my way back up. Seeing that fish then has given me a lot of hope. I don't usually catch a lot of fish in this area when I fish here, but I usually do pick up one or two. Had I not seen that fish, I would have still come down here fishing anyway, but I'm just doing it with a much more heightened anticipation now than what I would have been. The Creek from Hell, it's been the walk in from hell so far. Bit puffed, I've been cutting my way through and pruning my way in. It's taken me about 15 minutes just to get this far. Oh, I just got honked by a sambar deer and it frightened the life out of me. He's going to honk again. It was just over there. Honk. If my camera was rolling, it would have picked it up so clearly. It's funny, I just looked down and I thought, that's sambar deer poo. And just as I thought that, it is honk. 200 blackberry scratches, 1 sambar deer honk, And about 20 minutes later, and I finally made it to the creek. I've probably only come 300 or 400 metres from the car. It's just that it's so thick and overgrown. And I'm surprised I didn't see a snake. Casting this little rod is going to take a bit of getting used to. It's a 5-foot rod. And most of this sort of fishing that I've done this season has been with a 7-foot rod. Oh, there was a fish there then. I dead set saw a fish there then. There, he's got him. He came back out and grabbed it. Look at that. My first fish on my new rod. Yeah, beauty. Oh, he's gone. Oh, he snapped the line. I must have been a dodgy knot. He thinks he's still hooked. Come here, mate. He's gone now. He snapped the line. I must have tied a dodgy knot. I'm not worried about the fish. He will get that out of his mouth, no worries at all. He'll just go, it was on his lip. They nearly always are when you fish with soft plastics. He'll just go and bash out on a rock or something. Just means I've got to tie a new lure on, and I'm just disappointed I didn't get a photo of my... There's the knot there. Yeah, I've tied a dodgy knot. Didn't get a photo of the first fish with my new rod. Felt cool though. Very interesting. Here's a lovely deep hole, but it's got a little stick laying in it. A little stick in the form of a tree 2 foot round. Oh, got him! Oh, I done him. He didn't break the line like the last one, he just didn't hook up properly. Well, so far I've seen 3 fish. This one that hit really hard and didn't hook up. The one that hit and did hook up, it snapped the line. And the one that came out to investigate in the test pool at the start. I've seen 3 fish and they've all shown a lot of interest. So I'll be sticking with this colour because it's working. Where's the bloody lure? What the hell? Oh, shit. Oh, yeah. Oh, I've got a tangle here under the spool. That's not cool. Well, folks, I just had the tangle from hell while fishing in the creek from hell. I was turning the reel and nothing was working, the lure wasn't coming in. Then I realised that the line was wrapping around the shaft under the spool. So I took the spool off and this little wiry, skinny little bit fell off with it. I found it, I didn't know what it was for, so I put it in my pocket. It took me about 10 minutes to get all the line off the spool. And then I put it back together and the drag wasn't working. It had no clicker, no clicky sound. So I worked out where that little bit of wiry bit is that goes, where that goes. I put that in and now I'm pretty sure it's all working properly again. But that's not a good look. I don't like that. It's been a really nice reel to use, but I don't like it when they tangle under there like that. Right, I'm back in the game. Let's see if everything's working properly. That was an epic tangle. So far, I'm loving the rod. The reel has been good too until that tangle. That's costed a few points, I think, but let's just continue and see how we go. Oops, cast that one a bit short. Oh, but there was a fish at the back of the pool. Whew. Gee, this creek's hard work. I've just had to climb out down there and walk right through all this stuff. But you know what? That's very good for me because I need the exercise. And I enjoy it. I might just drop this in there. I'm actually sitting on blackberries at the moment. I dare say if there's any fish in there, I've probably spooked them. No, I haven't, look. I can't get down to it in your hand. I've just caught one. What I'm going to do, unhook it, hold it up to the camera, and then throw it back. Hold it up to the camera to try and get a still shot, and put it back. Lovely brown trout. See you later, mate. Keep it out of the water for as short a time as possible. I'm currently in the process of trying to make my way down there. I'm sitting on my bum in blackberry bushes And then I thought, you know what, there's a nice pool there, I'll just dip my line in, and it worked. Finally, after a couple of missed opportunities, I'm on the board. Right, here goes nothing. I'm in. That's where I got in. Right, after climbing in that bank just there, I've sustained a couple of injuries. YouTube don't like to see blood on their videos, so I'll try and make it real quick. You ready? Check this out. This is my left arm. This is my right arm. I'm going to wash them straight away to try and get rid of that blood. The cold water should stop the bleeding, and the less blood there is, the less likely I am to get leeches on me. This wind will be blowing all kinds of bugs out of the trees. I reckon the further I fish this pool from, further back I fish it from, got him! Oh, I done him! I was going to say, I reckon the further back I fish it from, the more likely I'll be to catch multiple fish. I'll be happy if I just catch one, but if I can catch two, that's even better. Now I'm over that tree. Oh no, you bugger. Oh good, I got it off. Now I'm on that tree. From one tree to another tree. Right, my plastic's still on? Yep. Look at that, as good as I bought one. Let's try again. Come on fish, come back. Come back. Oh, there's one on it, look. I'll go a little bit closer. Yum. If nothing else, I'm getting a nice feed of blackberries here. Every cloud has a silver lining. Blackberry stuck to my ears. Shit. Oh, that was a decent fish. Oh, don't be snagged on that. Good, it's off. Didn't feel a lot of weight. He might come back if I'm lucky. Ah, if I can land the lure in the water. Jeez, it's a tight little stream, this one. Come on, come back, come back. He's on it. Got him. Oh, he hit it but didn't hook up. Oh, got him. Look at the size of him. I wasn't going to fish here. I made a heap of casts in there. I just made a heap of casts in there and didn't do any good. Then I sat on this branch just here and changed the batteries in my camera, and I was just about to walk up and keep fishing, and I thought I'll just lob one right up tight under the log, and sure enough there's a massive big trout. Well, massive by this creek standards anyway. I'll get my camera and get a photo of this one. I didn't get a photo of the last one because I just wanted to get it back in the water because I was sitting up high off the water, but this one here, I can leave him in the water until I'm ready to go. Until he's ready to go. I'm already ready. Come on, mate. That was quite cool watching him come out and grab that. Then don't go over there. I'm high sticking this now. In theory, that should be fine with this rod. You bloody thing. Gone. Oh, he snapped the line. Again, it's twice I've had my line snapped. But this time, it wasn't the knot's fault. I was trying to grab the fish. I'd landed it. I had it in my hand, but I didn't want to squeeze the guts out of it. I was just trying to nurse it in my hand, and it slipped out, which I'd rather do that than have it, than squeeze it. And then I'd had hold of the line, and the line went around my arm. The rod couldn't bend to take up the slack. It gave a kick and snapped the line again. Folks, the fish are on the bite, but I'm really struggling. Now I'm going back with what's been working, and that's the Strike Tiger Micro Minnow in black caviar colour. That'll do. That's them there, black caviar micro minnow. The fish are biting. They're wanting it. It goes in my bag. The fish are biting. They're wanting this colour. They're wanting this lure. Everything's right. It's just me. I'm just having one of those days. I guess like cricketers, some days they make centuries and some days they make ducks. I think today I made about 11 runs off 413 balls. I hate that one little leaf. Oh, there's a fish on it. He's on it. Take it, take it. Oh, that was wrapped around that grass. Gee, this is a hard little creek to fish. The line's always wrapped around something, hooked up on something. Well folks, this is as far as I can go. Up past here it just gets way too overgrown, even for my standards. But before I go, I just want to give you a bit of an overview, or a bit of share my thoughts on this rod. Okuma LRF light reinforced fibre. Graphite all the way to here, and then a fiberglass tip. I loved it. It is a beautiful little rod. I can't fault it. I wish the butt was a bit shorter, but other than that, it is a ripper of a rod. I've been casting terrible all day, but that's not the rod's fault. It's because I've gone from using a 7-foot rod to a 5-foot rod, and a lot of the times I was casting too high, and I just need a bit of practice to get my eye in, so I'm happy with that. The rod, 10 out of 10. I loved it. The reel, however, it's a nice reel. It's nice and smooth. It's not an expensive reel, $120 or $130, but twice it wrapped up underneath on the shaft under the spool. Once was so bad I had to break the line, tie it off, and then I lost the part. Thankfully I found it and worked out where it goes back on, and I was able to get it going again. The second time around it wasn't as bad, and I just untangled it and put the spool back on, but that's a bit of a concern. It's a bit more prone to tangling. I'm going to give the rod a 10 out of 10, but the reel I reckon I'll probably just give it a 5 out of 10, because that is a pretty catastrophic sort of problem to have if you lose parts on the bank of the creek. Now this rod I think was about $90 or $100. It's not an expensive rod. Absolutely recommend it. The reel's about a $120 reel. It's there were cheaper reels than this. This was a there were a couple of cheaper ones in the Okuma range. There were a couple of cheaper ones by Diver and Shimano, but I chose this one because I liked it. I like the fact it's got anti-reverse. It's a bit of a no frills reel, and I like the fact that it's a 6-to-1 gear ratio. So it's a good reel, but that tangling is just a bit of a problem. I could even have a little bit too much line on there. I'm not really sure. But anyway, you're going to see me use this a lot more over the coming months, especially in these smaller streams, and I'll be able to tell you after I've used it a lot more how good it is. Folks, I've had a blast today. I only actually landed one fish. I had 2 others in my hand that got off. Quite a few other opportunities. I chose a very hard creek to fish to christen my new little fishing rod. Thank you all very much for watching.